Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So there's some time date stamp for you. Welcome to Wednesday, and that's 2.5 degrees, 68% humidity. So happy Wednesday. I told you guys about that hike I took along the railroad tracks with a buddy of mine. And that was a lot of fun. It was helped me remind me back when I was a kid. I grew up or spent part of my childhood in Emerson, New Jersey. And there was a commuter rail line that went through there. It was part of the Erie, the Weary Erie, as my father used to call it. And there was railroad tracks that ran from Emerson toward Westwood. And some of you guys are probably going to tell me, oh yeah, it's a rail trail now and all that stuff. Well, when I was a kid, they used to run trains up and down there. And there was a train station right in Emerson that commuters would use. And there was also freight. And the freight would come through Emerson really, really slow. And I shouldn't be saying this, but as a kid, we used to put stuff on the tracks, pennies and all that kind of stuff, and get them smashed and then go back and look for them. And we also used to chase the train and jump on the caboose. That kind of worked until they noted that we were doing it, and then they would have somebody, on the caboose looking at us, so you couldn't exactly run and jump on the caboose if there was somebody there. Like as you were putting your hands up, his hands were right there next to yours on the railing to make sure you didn't grab on. So we that got kind of shut down. Back then a freight train actually had a caboose on it. Now most freight trains don't have a caboose. It's just an engine. Anyway, so it was a lot of fun roaming along the railroad tracks and going to see that building. One of the YouTubers actually, I think he figured it out. He called it a crew barracks, and that's probably it, because right where it was a huge flat area between the Hudson and the whole bit, and that was probably a train yard back in the day. The oldest timestamps I saw on some of the rails were 1948. So it was just fun to roam around down there. It was kind of reminding me of time I used to spend, once again, roaming the railroad tracks in Emerson. And I'm starting to go back 50 years ago, right? I'm like that old guy who tells stories of when I was a kid, I walked to school up and down hill, both directions in the snow, unless it was 100 degrees outside, I don't want to be that guy, but the time along the tracks hanging out with my buddy was a lot of fun. What amazed me was the amount of stuff they just have along the tracks and in the bushes and all that kind of stuff. This is the stuff I brought home. Being a crazy hoarder, I couldn't help it. Even found a bucket in the bushes and threw this stuff in here. This stuff, it wasn't together. It wasn't like somebody was saving it, that, oh, look, we're going to recycle it. I mean, it was in the bushes. It was, down the ravine. It was next to the Hudson. This was, literally railroad junk. I mean, at any time, as they had this stuff, they could have taken it out of there if they had any interest in it at all. And one of the things I'd actually like to do is one of my subscribers and a guy who gives Hoarding Mayhem a lot of support is Rusty Glovebox. Really cool guy out of Texas, very positive. I'm sure probably most of you guys are already are subscribed to his channel, but if you're not, go check him out. Anyway, he's been making a lot of knives, and I'd love to send this piece of rail out to him and have him make a knife out of it. No, you don't have to send me the knife once you make it, but I think it just lend itself to be a wonderful knife. This part of it, right, looks like a little hammer, but then you can bring it down and perhaps put a I don't know, that's about 5/8 of an inch from one side to the other. So I don't know exactly how you would do this, but I think it might make a great knife or two. Once again, maybe this would make one knife and this can make another. But yeah, if Rusty Glove Box sends me his address, PM it. You don't have to tell the world what your address is. I'd love to send that to you to make a knife. I looked this stuff over, and on one of these I saw a 1965 on it. I forgot which piece it was. I looked the stakes over quite a lot, and I didn't see any date codes. And by the way, about stakes, these spikes that hold the rails down, I mean, there were, if I was a pig, and I didn't want to be like a crazy thief, but if I was a pig, there were literally some buckets of spikes, new spikes lying around. To me, the new stuff has really no interest, no value. I'd rather have the stuff that actually was on the railroad. And just comment, why did I pick these up? I think this would make a great anvil. My buddy actually carried that for me. This I thought was pretty cool. Because it broke. You can see as you look down here, it's bowed and cracked off. This actually snapped. So I thought that was cool because somebody actually had to cut that off and do something with it. I just grabbed these because flat metal is always handy. I'm not sure what it does. It kind of looks like maybe it was holding up air brake hose. This is a clip. Got kind of some markings on it. It's bent. I don't know. Would that make a good knife too? These are just bolts. They go through there, right, with the big lock washers. And by the way, none of this stuff was together. It was like I walked along and found a bolt, then I found a washer, then I found one of those. Once again, none of this was like somebody was saving it. These are spikes. I guess they drill a hole and drive them in. Turn them in. By drive, I mean turn. This is the older version. This is the newer version. You could see the difference. I'm not sure. I had one each. I found these by the building, by that building. But once again, I'd love to see the knife that Rusty Glove Box could make with that. I think that'd be so cool. We could drive Rusty Glove Box crazy if all of us spend time going through our hordes or walking along railroad tracks or wrecking yards or wherever we go and send him things to make knives out of. That could be fun. Somebody could like a broken leaf spring from a truck, or a length of coil spring from a truck, better than a car probably. I mean, there's a TV show where guys are making knives out of all kinds of wild things. So I think what we should do is help Rusty get really good at this, and then we could put him on that TV show and then say that we all made him famous. So I'm going to close this now, and I picked up another few things. So I'm going to show those to you guys also. So there we are, my fun along the railroad tracks. By the way, I would like to get down there again. we were kind of told to get lost. We were told to that we didn't belong there and to go away. So obviously when somebody tells you that without putting handcuffs on you, we did. But there was a bungalow that was right next to a park. It was maybe 20 foot down the tracks. So I kind of think we could roam. I don't want to be on those railroad tracks again in the next week or two, because if we run across the same guy seeing us roam around the tracks, he's going to say, "Didn't I talk to you guys last week?" And then he might actually call the cops, and Harvey might be pleading on YouTube for bail, or maybe my wife's going to leave me in can and get a boyfriend that doesn't hoard. But either way, I'd rather not get caught there real quickly. But there is that collapsed bungalow that's kind of near a park. So I would kind of like to get back there and explore that. And once again, if I see any metal debris, I'd probably pick it up. Then there's also a red building that there's no wood. It's a brick building, so the facade is all still there, but there's nothing in the center. So I think that was probably a burnout in the day. There's no floors or anything. I mean, literally, it's just a brick shell. But it's a good-sized building. It's like a 3-story building. Don't worry, I'm not going to go inside and knock it over on myself. But I wouldn't mind going over there and taking a look at that. That was kind of the end of a road. There's a house near it. So if worse comes to worse, somebody'd probably come out of the house and tell us to get out of there. Some people are cool if you're like videotaping an old building or something, and you tell them you're kind of curious about the historic theme, and they're kind of open, and they'll kind of help you out, want to talk to you about it. Some people come out with like shotguns. A lot of times when they, I try not to be an old guy, but I'm an old guy. A lot of times if they see an old guy roaming around and you tell them, "Oh, I'm into railroads and old buildings and all," they're pretty cool. A lot of times if they see like teenagers, they think you got a spray can in your back pocket and you're going to put bad symbols all over the place. So sometimes, now that I'm old enough to be allowed to do some of this stuff, I guess I'm kind of taking advantage. Anyway, folks, this is getting to be a long video. I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and guys, get out there and enjoy all your days. Do what you like to do. If you like to go roaming around railroad tracks, don't get hit by a train, but, go out there and have some fun. Don't go to jail, but, use some common sense, use some good thoughts. There's plenty of rail beds now that they actually turned into walkways. So go walk them, and go find some history, then go walk the railway. And a lot of times there's still foundations and all that people haven't done anything with, so go look at them, go have some fun. Anyway, folks, take care. Once again, thanks for watching and commenting and subscribing. Bye now.